everybody, this is Russell with the 460 EFI guys. I'm going to kind of show a ZF5 swap in one of these older trucks. Mine's a 79 F350. Mine's got a body lift on it, a couple other variations, but all in all, pretty similar process. So let me start with the shifters and everything up here. So what I ended up having to do was kind of move the shifter back to clear everything. You want to keep all those boots from the ZF5, and then your NP205, if you're doing four-wheel drive, you can reuse that. Go ahead and move it back, put those guys underneath the carpet. And one really cool thing I found is the Ford Ranger from the 90s shift boots are really helpful. And along with that center console, I put that over the transfer case, and I got nice cup holders. Just had to cut it out a little bit to fit. Let me go underneath to show you how I hooked up the transfer case and everything. So mine looks a little different because mine's clocked. You can kind of see it up in there. There's a clocking ring. So mine's clocked down, but you'll want to use your old shifter for the transfer case, and you'll put it in the front hole there. That bolt will go right in. And then you can see I had to lengthen mine out because it is clocked. And that's part of why I have a longer shift lever, is because of that. It changes the throw. And then, cut your bracket and go ahead and put that guy on. And let me zoom out here and I'll show you my cross brace that works really nice for these ZF5s. Essentially what I did was made a couple of pretty beefy strap pieces that went right up to the frame. Then I took the ZF5 cross brace and made it from there. And then I think that's 2.5 inches. I did a raised tube to come up to that factory mount. Cut the bottom of it open so I could bolt it all together. And then because mine is clocked and my transfer case is hanging down lower, I put a kind of a little skid plate in there for it. And then these front drive shafts are always pretty short. When you do it, they're short to start with. I ended up having to shorten mine out. God, I think it was about 3 inches when I went from the C6 to the ZF5 speed. And then for your transfer case mount, this is what I've always done, is you end up having to move that bracket that bolts to the frame, and then you'll have to cut and weld that piece on at the angle you need it at. Yours will probably stay stock if you leave your transfer case clocked the same way. I almost forgot to mention, another thing you'll have to do, let me see if I can get a good angle, is you will have to clearance for the upper shift rod through that ZF5 speed there. So just take a die grinder with an aluminum bit, a deburring bit, just kind of shave it until you can get that rod to articulate through there. Other than that, it's a pretty simple swap, a little time intensive, but it is well worth it. The hydraulic clutch is absolutely to die for. Having the overdrive is also priceless. The gears are just much, much happier. And as you can see, mine is a very big truck. I'm turning 43-inch tires, and I've had nothing but great things to say about doing the swap. It was absolutely worth it. So anyways, we'll cut back in here a little bit and show you a couple other tips and tricks when you're going through and doing some upgrades.